I had a dream I could buy my way to heaven. When I awoke, I spent it on a necklace, right? So I just woke up. That's why I look a little silly. I got a hat on, but I have something very important to talk about, okay? I want to talk about Monopoly, not the silly game where there's like fake money and the monocle guy that who doesn't have a monocle for some reason. So I'm not talking about that Monopoly. I'm talking about Monopoly as like when there's only one competitor in a niche, or the niche becomes like everyone's using it every day and there's only one competitor and they use that to their advantage, right? That's a monopoly. So in school, I would have like finance classes, I would have like economics classes where I would learn about monopolies and like what things are in place to stop them from happening, right? Like back in the day, there was the Rockefeller like oil. Bro was getting so much money that he could literally corner the market. He was getting bags on bags on bags. Another big example that's more recent is like the EpiPens, right? So you got these life-saving things that people need to survive, right? Right? Life-saving, but only one company really distributed it. So they were able to put it as much money as they want because people needed it. They didn't have a choice of whether they're going to buy it or not. So however much it is how much they were paying because they needed it. Another thing is insulin. It's basically the same thing as EpiPen where people need it to survive, right? Diabetic people need the insulin, but there would be one company hogging it all and charging a crazy amount of money. So these were monopolies that happened more recently that would make me like go like, what is going on, right? I was in school and I thought it was so cool learning about how certain things would be in place that encourage competition instead of monopolization, right? But then I start to realize that the government is low-key run on monopolies, right? So when the tech world starts taking over, the government realized something. So originally, like the Rockefeller situation, like even the insulin and stuff, the government realized that this is just about money at the end of the day. You have a monopoly, but it's just for money. And the government could use some money, but they need like 40 trillion money for it to really mean something. Nobody's making 40 trillion money off of insulin. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to them. Like, yes, they could make a bigger bag if they let the monopoly happen, but like, why would they do that, right? They don't really need that. But the tech world is different. It's more than just money. It's attention, right? Attention is their currency now. They want control. Okay, they want control over what we see. They want control over what we like. They want control over what we can see in the first place. And that's where media comes in. So monopolizing products and oil and all that stuff isn't in the game anymore. That's not how they're going to play their cards. They want to monopolize where our attention goes, and that's exactly what's happening, okay? Let's start with YouTube. So YouTube is pretty good. YouTube is where you're most likely seeing this video. But at the end of the day, YouTube is just a big business. What competes with YouTube? In the past 4 years, there's been more contenders that are kind of competing with YouTube. But at the end of the day, YouTube is YouTube. It is this whole own thing. So yes, now you can post longer videos on TikTok. You can post longer videos on Twitter. You can post longer videos on other places. But still, YouTube still kind of holds the throne for long form content and even shorts too. Like they're running the game. One cool thing about YouTube is that it pays its creators. Isn't that crazy how we have to consider that cool? How that's not commonplace? The only issue is that it's like 50%, right? It's 45 or it'll be 55%. Either way, it's basically half. Half of the money you make on YouTube doesn't go to you, right? If I made 10 bands on this video, I'm only getting 5, right? And that's still a lot, but imagine if I got all the 10. One thing to justify it is the fact that YouTube offers the platform, right? And I understand, I don't have my own YouTube. YouTube is the YouTube. So just because of that, I understand that it takes some cut. It's the one that gets the advertisers to even show up on my video and make the money. So I understand that it takes that cut. But YouTube doesn't do anything to promote me. I have to do it myself, right? I have to make a good thumbnail. I have to make a good title. I have to make a good video. YouTube doesn't fund it. YouTube doesn't do anything like that. Yet, when the video comes out, they take 50%. I think that's kind of crazy. It's different if they're promoting me, right? Like if I'm showing up on everyone's homepage over and over again and YouTube is trying so hard to make the video good, it would be a different story. Then you can take maybe 50%. But they show me on homepages with the thought of the video might do good. Like they don't really care. They just want money. So if they were genuinely helping me and were really a big factor of why I even made videos, I would understand 50%. But 50% is kind of crazy. I think we can all agree on that. Kind of insane for a big company to have. What do they need all that money for? But that's just the tip of the iceberg. It gets so much worse. What about Instagram? What about Instagram? What about people who are practically famous on Instagram who only get paid if they do a sponsor? Instagram don't care about you, gang. You could be like, you have to be Ronaldo level famous for Instagram to care about you. If they need you on their platform because you're so big, then they pay you. But if you're not really needed, right? There's so many people with 1 million followers. So if you're just one of them, they don't care. Yes, you have such a big audience. Yes, you got people who are on Instagram just for you, but Instagram will not care. They don't do anything. Yes, you can get paid from shorts, right? Yeah, if you want to get paid 1 penny for every 10,000 views, you can do that. But that's not the game I'm trying to play here. What I'm trying to say is that Instagram knows it don't have any competitors. Instagram is so up that they know leaving Instagram from some people will hurt them. If I got followers on Instagram, I can't leave Instagram because it will hurt my business. So I got to stay on Instagram. I got no other options. Guys, doesn't this sound like something? So Instagram is able to pay me nothing, yet I have to keep growing my accounts to help fund other businesses. And Instagram knows that I'm not going to leave and go anywhere else because there is no other place. This is a monopolization of the social media market, okay? It's all about our attention. The only other places that offer content are also monopolies. So it's not just one whole thing, but it's multiple monopolies that all play into the same attention game. The people who own all those companies, which is basically the government, right? Like you got these big companies that own the companies. They have one common goal, and it is not just about money. It is about attention. They want us all glued to as many screens as possible. They want us to only talk to our friends through their apps while we're paying them at the same time. That's their ideal world, right? Where it's become a lot more virtual, and that's where we're heading. The only big competitor with Instagram would be TikTok now. Instagram is normally about posting photos, at least at first, but now it's gone into like Reels, which is literally TikToks. And TikTok now you can post photos, which is literally Instagram. So all of it's just kind of eating off of each other. And you might see that as, oh, competition. You might see that as, whoa, oh, are we going to compete? No, we're not. Both of these platforms barely pay the creators at all. They pay the people at the top that they need to stay in order to keep making their money. But they are not paying the average creator what they should at all for the value of what they make. So from a creator's perspective, if you want to post long form content, you only have one place to do it. 10 years ago, if you wanted to buy insulin or an EpiPen, there was only one person to get it from, one company. Doesn't this ring the same type of bell, guys? The only issue is that it's so cool to have everyone on the same platform. The fact that YouTube is the only YouTube is very cool. Because when I make a video on YouTube, I know that everyone else on YouTube could possibly see it. So the more people, the cooler it is for me. But I just wish there was something to keep it in check, right? And like I said, YouTube isn't one of the bad ones, right? 50% is pretty crazy, but it's not nothing, right? Other platforms will literally give you nothing until you are needed by them. What sparked me making this video was learning about athletes, right? There are professional athletes who make it to the Olympics, who get to play like these big time sports and events. And averagely, like for track or something, I don't know for sure. I'm not going to look up the statistic, but there was like an average level for track runners and it was like 15,000 a year, which means that some people are making less than that. You could be a pro track runner that's playing at Olympic level events, and you are getting paid less than a McDonald's worker. I don't think every single person who wants to play track should be paid. But I think if you show that you exhibit this high level of discipline and just human performance, right? If you're entertaining in the fact that you can do something an average person can't, right? Like you can run really fast, you can jump over hurdles, you can long jump, all of the stuff that normal people cannot do. If you can do it really good, I think that deserves funding. That deserves funding, because you got to have a good diet to maintain it. You got to be able to have a ton of time to work out and train. But you can't have all that stuff if you aren't being paid. So I do think it is an unfortunate reality that even that side of everything is being monopolized, right? You're brought up thinking that like, oh, sports athletes are so cool. And then you realize that almost all of them get paid nothing. They are not cared about. They are expected to use their own money and time to show up to the meets, right? To even compete. Call me crazy, but I don't think that's how it should be. I think if you can prove that you are a top tier performing human, you should be funded for that. It's honestly insane to think that you have to already be rich in order to afford training and meals and sometimes even the flights to go compete. Like, you gotta pay to travel to go compete for what you're supposed to be good in. Like, it's like, what's going on? This is not how I would have ever thought it was. And unfortunately, so much of it has to come down to just value. Why would a company pay you if you don't really offer that much value? Like, yes, the Olympics need every single person they got running and competing, but they understand that if you leave, what do they lose? Everyone has to leave for them to really lose. So they're at this point where they just assume people want to play in the Olympics no matter what cost, so they're going to pay the cost. Because there's no other competitor here. There's not a different Olympic. The Olympics isn't versing anyone. It's the one thing. There's not like basketball and then basketball 2, right? Contrary to this channel where I've made a basketball 2, right? Basketball 2, I would pay people correctly. But sadly, it don't exist. There's only one basketball. So if you want to go make it big in basketball, there's only one place you're going. And I think that's so unfortunate. That's so sad. And I think it causes a monopoly, basically. I just think when there's one place to go for anything, right? Like if you want to watch long form videos and there's only one place to go. If you want to watch short form videos and there's only like 2 places to go. I think it causes very, very detrimental damage to the mental health of its users who even aren't posting, who aren't in the rat race. They're just witnessing it. Why do you think people fake their life on Instagram? It's because it gets them more engagement. Why do you think people rage bait all the time? It's because it gets them more engagement. Everyone is in this fight to get as much engagement as possible. Everyone has forgotten about, real life, real human connection. Anything real? Why make someone laugh if I could make them mad and reach 10 times the amount of people? Why try to make someone happy if I could talk about something negative and have it spread to 10 times more the amount of people? So I think having this rat race on only one platform per type of media allows the company to not have to pay anyone besides the top people because they know where else are you going to go? And then all the people actually in the rat race are doing anything they can to abuse the system, to abuse the algorithm. They're not focused on actually being them and making content anymore. They're focused on Mr. Beastifying the content and making it to where as many people can like it as possible. Like I said, it is very cool that everything happens in one place. Like if one TikTok blows up, everyone on TikTok basically sees it. I do think that's kind of cool. But also, I've learned recently that TikTok can choose what videos go viral. Because they have such a monopoly-styled control over the market, they can literally choose what goes viral. Do you understand how insane this is? Hey, I'm working on a website to house all my music, videos, and community. Phase 1 starts on Patreon. If you're interested in helping the vision come to life or even just supporting the project, I'd love to see you over on Patreon. Link in the description. If you want to help support my fight against Spotify, this is the way to go. They choose what can go viral or not. It's not by chance. It's not the algorithm. A lot of the times it is, but it's like they can literally take your post and be like, I want this to be shown to everyone on the app, and it can be shown to everyone on the app. Like, it's like, dude, like it makes sense of how they can do that, but at the same time, that's a monopoly, bro. That's insane. That means that if you suck up to the creators and you try to do everything you can to please them, you'll be more likely to be shown to people, which is terrible. That's not how it should be. It should be fair to everyone, no matter what you're saying. But it's like that whole thing where it's like freedom of speech only goes so far when there's people controlling the platforms you're on. Like if you get paid through making videos, you're not going to want to say anything that can offend the people who promote the videos. If you know that TikTok can press a button and make your video go viral, why are you going to say anything that could hurt TikTok's feelings? Even if it's the truth. So now, speaking the truth and making light of these horrible issues that we're being forced to play into actually hurts you. It hurts your brand. It is a risk to talk about the issues everyone's facing. We can be punished, whether it's financially, whether it's number-wise, right? Our account can even get banned just for talking about the real issues we're going through. And I think that is the worst thing about a monopoly. The control over what we can even say, what we can do. Because there's no other Instagram, you don't want to get kicked off of Instagram. Instagram knows it don't have to pay you because you're going to stay there. But at the same time, you can't say certain things without getting shut down. So there's these rules you have to follow without even being compensated for it. Your reward for following the guidelines is being able to just stay on Instagram. That's it. That's it. Ideally, it should be what? Getting paid? Some boost in the algorithm? I don't know. Like, there should be some like type of reward for your business, for your account. But instead, it comes down to you just get to stay on the platform if you follow the rule. Like, it's just so yucky. It's really weird because part of it also feels like slavery, right? And I hate when I compare stuff to slavery because, yes, slavery was so much more terrible. Slavery used physical abuse. Slavery used mental abuse. Slavery used, oh my God, unethical tactics over and over again. Horrible. Slavery's horrible. But the same ideas that existed with slavery, where there were people on top that barely did any work, but they overseen a ton of little people who got to do all the work, while the people at top reaped all the benefits. What does this sound like? Instagram is run by its creators. It has so many of its little people making all the content. They don't get paid to do this. They're doing this because they sometimes have to. Sometimes you have to make an Instagram video to promote your song, to promote your YouTube video. Sometimes you have to use Instagram for that. And Instagram knows that. So it doesn't have to pay you because you're already going to come. So Instagram is paying basically nothing for you to make videos for it to keep running on. Instagram is the car, but the people make the wheels. The people maintain the roads that the car drives on. And the car don't care. The car don't pay you because it knows that you need the car in some way. Like, you need this car running to promote yourself. So it don't need to pay you to clear the roads because it's like we're all in this together. But in reality, the Instagram as a whole company gets all the benefits. Where you see a 1% increase, they see 1 million. And you can make the argument of, well, I don't have to post on Instagram. So how is it slavery if I'm not being forced to do it? That's what I'm trying to say. Is it's a monopoly? You are forced to do it. Because what are you going to do? Not post on Instagram? You're going to start posting your daily pictures and not on Instagram? Everyone is on Instagram. You don't have an option if you want to reach the most amount of people. I don't know how we're going to fix this issue, but I think it needs to be talked about. This is insane. This is insane. This should not be normal. Just like in other avenues of business where competitors help to not only make a better product, but also make it the best experience for consumers. Like when Apple and Samsung are fighting, the competition doesn't only make the prices go down, because Apple wants you to buy their phone instead of a Samsung, so they're going to make their phone cheaper than the Samsung, so you go buy it. Obviously, that's not how it's going anymore. No, it's not. But ideally, that's what happens. The prices go down because they're fighting, but not only the prices go down, the quality goes up. Apple wants a better product than Samsung, but also to sell it cheap enough where people are going to buy it because they got this competition. On any social media, it is not that way. Yes, TikTok and Instagram are fighting over who's going to watch the short content. Are you going to watch Reels or are you going to watch TikToks? Yes, I agree. But why would either of them care about paying a creator? They don't. They literally don't care. They will only pay you if they know it's going to keep you there. That's where the competition lies. If a big TikTok creator is thinking about going over to Instagram Reels, TikTok's going to say, no, now I'll pay you. Now I'll pay you everything because we need you. But when you're like a little creator, they don't care. They literally don't care about you. It's all the same. Yes, it's two different platforms, but behind the scenes, it's just your attention it's feeding off of. But just think about it. If TikTok is able to pick one video and promote, if TikTok is able to make one video go viral at their command, imagine what else they can choose. They might choose what type of political content gets pushed more. If they're allowed to just make one video go viral, right, which I don't think they should be allowed to have control over that if everyone is deceived by the algorithm. Everyone thinks it's the algorithm pushing them a video, but then all of a sudden they're getting shown a video that was deliberately placed in front of them by a real life person who chose that to happen. We're living in this facade where we think everything is meant for us, but in reality, we're just a little guinea pig being shown the video. I think the same exact thing happens with political content, ideology content, news content. And if there's stuff TikTok might not want to push, they might purposely shadow it, which we've seen happen. You only have freedom of speech until the platforms you're using the speech on don't like what you're saying. Yes, you have freedom to say it, but you don't have freedom to have anyone listen. You will get shut down if you say something they don't want you to say. You will get promoted better if you say something they do want you to say. So yes, from the outsider's perspective, we think creators have control. We think we have choice over what platform to use. But at the end of the day, it is monopolized. You basically only have one choice for anything you want to do. You only have one choice of what you can even say. If you want your business doing good, if you want to make ends meet, You have to follow their stupid rules, which interferes with freedom of speech, freedom of decision. It creates its own monopoly that we have to play into as if it's not happening. And it's all because the people at the top want to control our attention. They want us on the screens all day. They want us making friends that aren't in real life. Because when you're flipping through your friends' stories on Snapchat, you're going to see ads. And who does that pay? Not your friends. It pays Snapchat. They want your attention staying as virtual as possible because that's where they can market to you. They're only ever going to care about real life friends once you got those glasses on that can have ads in real life. That's when they will start to care about real life friends. It's all about money for them. It's where your attention goes. So I think it is horrible. I don't know how we're going to fight it, but we need to do something because this is just not good. One of the things I'm doing to help combat this is I'm working on a website that's first going to house all my music and videos and the community around it. But part of this website is going to be games that has to do with the stories of my videos. So instead of it just being songs that have different stories, you're going to see the songs as people. You're going to see personalities and colors that are associated with certain vibes of the songs. It's going to be more than just baseline content. There's going to be games around it. There's going to be the community. I'm going to have like this comfortable chat room where people are able to talk about certain things they resonate. They can take a song they both like by me and talk about why they like it, how the song helped them. But imagine scaling this up. Imagine my own platform that can house other people's videos, other people's music, and allow them to easily make games off of it. Other experiences, that aren't just videos and music. We can create memorable, impactful experiences that stem from the content we make instead of just relying on that content. I think my website someday could be what combats this monopolized style of everything. I am a normal person who is sane and actually cares about other people. So if my money on the website is being made from other people's content, guess what I'm going to do? I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, they got no choice. No, of course I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, thank you for providing value to the website and give them their fair share. That's how I think it should be. For the past 50 years, we have treated videos and songs like they are the last point. But imagine if we could use them as an asset. Imagine the feeling you get from watching a video. Imagine the feeling you get from watching a song, and we can build up off of that. Imagine if we created a whole experience, a whole different world based off of just a video or a song as an asset. An asset that grows, an asset that helps build something new, instead of it being the endpoint like it's treated now. Because the way social media companies work, treating a video or a song as the last point is not going to cut it anymore. It is so easy to make a video now. AI is making videos, making songs. We can't treat the songs like they are the last thing anymore. They're not the prized possession. It is the experience around the song. It's the experience around the video, right? Like, what makes a video creator's video more important than another? It's because of the experience they provide around it. Maybe they're anticipating this one big video event. So then you're anticipating it too. It's the experience, So that's what I want. I want there to be more story building. I want there to be more human created experiences that have to do with songs and videos as an asset level instead of the end goal. So creators will not only be creating songs and videos to share with people, but they will be creating the foundation of new stories to flourish. Like, imagine if one of their fans could submit their own game, could submit their own story based off of the creator's songs and videos. Like, how Roblox is one company that allows so many different individual creators to create games for their platform, right? That's what it'll be, basically, is that people will be incentivized to create stories, to create games based off of the assets of songs and videos from their favorite creators. But this time, you will be paid for it. We will not expect anyone to just do that for fun. If you're providing value, you're going to get value back. That's going to be my ideology. I don't care about making the most money possible. I want to create somewhere that's comfortable for everyone. I just want to see inspiration happening. I want to see other creators inspiring other people. It's not even all about me. I just want to see it happen. I think that'd be so cool. So if you're as passionate as I am about this, go in the description down below. I have a Patreon running. That is phase 1 of the website. Once the Patreon is able to offer enough funding where I can have people actually help create the website and make sure there's not bugs everywhere, If you're interested in having that happen, go down below. I got my Patreon right there. There's also exclusive content there that you can only see there, right? I'm going to have polls running. I'm going to have certain questions I'll ask that you can answer. So if you're interested in that, check it out, please. If you made it this far, like this video so more people can see, because this is a message that has to be spread. Oh my God, this is terrifying. Subscribe if you want to be more likely shown my videos in the future. And then last but not least, listen to Blakey on all platforms. Unfortunately, it's on all platforms. I wish it was just on, a good one. But yes, if you stream Blakey, I will be paid not even a cent. I will be paid a third of a tenth of a cent. Something like that. Something very, very little. And it's not really even worth it. So that's what we're dealing with now, though. So if you want to stream it, go stream it on any platform. Blakey, music. Yay. What a fun, monopolized world we live in. Hopefully I can beat a monocle man.